Hello there. So it is October 1st, and yes, very exciting. I know. Yay, Halloween is around the corner. So I thought I'd make a video about all of the books that I've bought that I'm going to read in October. Maybe book recommendations, things like that for you. So let's start with that. And these are all going to be thriller, mystery, horror books because it's generally what I read, but I do like other books. But most of these, if not all of them, are going to be creepy. And I'm terrible with pronunciations, so bear with me here. But the first book I picked up is called Shudder. And this one is about a young woman agrees to star in a filmmaker's latest project, but soon realizes the movie is not what she expected in this chilling debut novel. So it's going to be probably pretty thriller, you know? Sounded good to me. So if sounds good to you, check it out. I will let you know after I read it how I feel about it. And let's see, the next one is an author I read a lot, but I have not read this one, and it's called Don't You Cry, and there's the cover for that. Let's read the back. So this says, in downtown Chicago, Esther Vaughn disappears from her apartment without a trace. A haunting letter addressed to my dearest is found among her possessions, leaving her roommate, Quinn Collins, to question how well she really knew her friend. Meanwhile, in a small town an hour outside Chicago, a mysterious woman appears in the quiet coffee shop where 18-year-old Alex Galeo works as a dishwasher. He's immediately drawn to her, but what starts as an innocent crush quickly spirals into something far more sinister. I live very near Chicago, so her other books that I've read, some of them take place, in suburbs outside the city, so I always feel a little attached to these somehow, maybe like close to home, I guess. So if you want to check this out, you should do that. Okay. Let's see. I have like some stacks here and then over here, but we'll go with this one. So I've never read a book by a Japanese author translated into English. I've always I have a list of books I want to read, but I have not. So I saw this one and I picked it up. Again, I'm terrible at pronouncing anything. So this is called Out. And it sounded very horror-esque. Let's read the back. So it says, this mesmerizing novel tells the story of a brutal murder in the staid Tokyo suburbs, as a young mother who works the night shift making boxed lunches strangles her abusive husband and then seeks the help of her coworkers to dispose of the body and cover up her crime. The coolly intelligent Misako, I believe, emerges as the plot's ringleader, but quickly discovers that this killing is merely the beginning, as it leads to a terrifying foray in the violent underbelly of Japanese society. So it's a little different than what I would normally read, but I do love movies like The Ring and The Grudge. Pretty much anything that has that vibe or feel, and I don't know, I feel like this might be a very gory book, so I'm kind of digging it for spooky season. So if you all are interested, check that one out. Sorry if the lights reflect off of the books. Hopefully you can read that. Okay. This one is a young reader's book. So it is called the Mary Shelley Club. I just love old school like monster movies such as Frankenstein and Dracula and the wolf, anything that's old. So I thought this one would be fun. High school is a scream, it says in here. It's about new girl Rachel Chavez is eager to make a fresh start at Manchester Prep, but as a scholarship student, she struggles to fit in among the rich kids and finds herself turning to horror movies for comfort. Somehow, the stabby serial killers and homicidal dolls seem less scary than bored trust fund babies. Then Rachel gets caught up in a prank gone wrong, going from weird loner girl to public enemy number one overnight. To Rachel's surprise, however, the incident attracts the attention of the Mary Shelley Club, a mysterious society of students who orchestrate elaborate pranks known as fear tests, which are inspired by urban legends and movie tropes. So it sounds pretty up my alley as far as that goes. So if you want to check the Mary Shelley Club out, then this would be the book for you. Okay, moving on to, I'm a huge Scooby-Doo fan. I love Scooby-Doo. I'll watch it every day, forever, so I had to get this book, but it's called Daphne and Velma, The Dark Deception, and, if you like Scooby-Doo, it's probably going to be pretty fun. I have not read any of these books yet. Again, I just, bought all of these, so these will be my October reads, but there we go, Daphne and Velma. And I have 2 more books. They both sounded really, I like stories that have to do with like ghosts or like haunted house, and then anything in the woods, like cabin in the woods, or just lots of like mysterious, like horror-esque type, books. So this one is called The Last House on Neeless Street. I have never read this author before. The cover was very intriguing, so I peeled back the front, and this got me. So here we go. In a boarded-up house on a dead-end street at the end of the wild Washington woods lives a family of 3. A teenage girl who isn't allowed inside, not after last time. So what happened last time, right? A man who drinks alone in front of his TV, trying to ignore the gaps in his memory. And a house cat who loves napping and reading the Bible. Because cats read the Bible pretty often, An unspeakable secret binds them together, but when a new neighbor moves in next door, what is buried among the birch trees may come back to haunt them all. Dun dun dun. So yes, sounds amazing. I might read this one first, if I'm being honest, because it sounds, so good. Okay, and the last book that I have, which also this one, actually I might read this one first, I lied. So this is called The Lost Village. Again, I've never read this author. I don't even know if some of these authors, these might be their first books. Haven't checked into that. I just got these books yesterday and wanted to share all of these spooky books I'm going to read. So this says, The Blair Witch Project meets Midsummer in this brilliantly disturbing thriller. And it's about a documentary filmmaker, Alice, has been obsessed with the vanishing residents of the old mining town dubbed the Lost Village since she was a little girl. In 1959, her grandmother's entire family disappeared in a mysterious tragedy, and ever since, the unanswered questions surrounding the only 2 people who were left, a woman stoned to death in the town center and an abandoned newborn, have plagued her. She's gathered a small crew of friends in the remote village to make a film about what really happened, but there will be no turning back. Not long after they've set up camp, strange things begin to happen. Equipment is destroyed, people go missing. As doubt breeds fear and their very minds begin to crack, one thing becomes startlingly clear to Alice. They are not alone. I love the Blair Witch Project. Again, anything in a cabin in the woods, just ghosts and, secrets. I love pretty much any book about that I will read. So, The Lost Village. Okay, so that is all the books I just bought yesterday at the bookstore. And I think, if you're into thrillers, horrors, mysteries, and it's October, you'll probably want to read some of these. So yes, enjoy if you go out and buy them. And I will share more books when I get them, or maybe I'll do a video on books I've read that are spooky, that I love, other authors that I like too. So, okay, have a great October 1st, and I will see you.